Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK Journey video. So for those of you guys who just chance upon this video because you're looking out for content for AFK Journey, welcome to the channel. For those of you guys who have been supporting me ever since I started releasing content videos for AFK Journey, I really appreciate it as well. So I'm Zeeebo. I've been playing AFK Journey for quite a while, ever since about 4 or 5 months back in the Pioneer testing server, and with AFK Journey global server closely upon us, right, on the 27th of March. We're going to release a whole slew of content on the channel with regards to beginner's guide, tier list, like a bunch of advanced guides, hero reviews, as well as in-depth analysis with regards to the different aspects of the game. So if you guys are interested in all those contents, if you guys like what you guys see today, do remember to drop a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And with that, let us begin today's video. Let's go. Yo, welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a topic which a lot of people have been asking me about, as well as a topic which I think a lot of people are very concerned about before jumping into the game. So that is how free-to-play friendly is AFK Journey. So I actually have multiple accounts, 2 free-to-play accounts which are pretty much done with the game. So they're in 2 very different situations. So I'm going to take this opportunity to share with you guys how things look like from the 2 different situations that I'm at right now. So let's start with this account. So this is my one of my accounts over here. As you guys can see, the first purchase reward is still here, so $0 spent. It's also the account which I showcased in my previous video in the free-to-play endgame account showcase. So these are my units, right? I have a few Supremes. I also have Scalita really close to Supreme as well. And I have a lot of characters which I can upgrade progressively. But I'm saving up my resources to ensure those units which I'm using way more level up first. So you guys will see that I don't actually upgrade some of these characters because I don't really actually use them. So it's pointless to upgrade them until I actually need them. Like, an inflation in your power doesn't give you anything because you don't use these units. They are just inflation in your power to show people that you have a lot of power, but all this power are just nothing. So that's why I don't upgrade them. And for this account itself, right, from a PV perspective, as a free-to-play player, you will definitely be able to complete the game, right? So in terms of AFK progression, fully completed, 1125. In fact, I done it long time ago, very, very achievable. In terms of story, I can pretty much finish everything, but it's just that I'm really lazy to do it on this account because I have multiple accounts to actually run through the story. So I'll probably do it someday, but in terms of PV progression, in terms of story mode, in terms of AFK challenges, in terms of the Legend Trial, which is the Elemental Tower, as you guys can see, 100% everything. So even as a free-to-play player that doesn't spend on the game, you can complete these game modes. It just takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of min-maxing, doing the right thing, building the right comp, and getting the right strategies, right, in order to progress as efficiently as possible. The keyword as a free-to-play player in this game is efficiency. Sometimes you can be a little bit slow, but being efficient allows you to go a long way because there's actually a few game modes where it requires you to compete with other players, right? And it gives you rewards in terms of that. So these 2 game modes are namely Dream Realm as well as Arena. So Arena is where the bigger you are, the more units you have and the stronger you are, the more rewards you will get. So this is basically the thing, right? If you take a look at it, so these are the ranking. So you get your daily rewards, which are your arena coins, and you also get your weekly rewards, which are arena coin, as well as the Twilight Essence, which is used to upgrade EX weapon 20 to 25 rate. Yeah, EX 15 to EX 25. So those are like the mega wheelie endgame stuff, which I think most people are not concerned about because you will have difficulty to upgrade to EX 15 as a free-to-play player because EX 10 to EX 15 is a massive jump. So the red color stones, I mean, it matters if you stock up a lot, but it doesn't matter to most free-to-play players because you're not going to compete with the whales in terms of the stats compartment. So in terms of arena, I think if you're able to squeeze into the top 100, that will be an optimal amount. Right, in this server, it's slightly more competitive because I started later, so my account is weaker than most people. And for me, I think being able to go into top 100 to get these juicy daily rewards and a little bit of redstones and some free resources from there, and my frame is more than enough. So that is for this account, right? So this server is slightly more competitive. And for Arena per se, I think as a free-to-play player, Arena shouldn't be a priority because I think the Arena meta changes pretty quickly. having the ability to spend and pull for the latest meta unit is going to change things out really quickly compared to a free-to-play player. So for free-to-play players, I'll say that the other focus in terms of like rewards against other players will be Dream Realm. So the reason why Dream Realm is extremely important is because Dream Realm gives you the first time rewards, which are really massive in speeding up your progression, as well as daily rewards based on your ranking of your damage. So for Arena, it's a PvP game mode where you fight against other players, pitting your team comp against others in a defensive and offensive manner. Whereas for Dream Realm, you're pitting a team against the boss, and your goal is to do as much damage as possible. So right now, there's actually 4 bosses. So each boss will require a different set of units, but there will be some overlap in terms of the most meta Dream Realm units. So I'll be releasing a whole slew of Dream Realm guides in terms of all the bosses, best team comms, free-to-play recommended comms, as well as general comms and recommendations that people will use. So if you guys are into that, stay tuned, right? Subscribe and like the video so you can see more. So that's for the Dream Realm guide portion. So I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about the rewards part. So this account over here, like I mentioned, it's slightly more competitive. Like my rankings in terms of the other bosses, as you guys can see, it's all after 50, and the day haven't ended yet, so I believe my ranking will fall even further. So the reason why this is more important for free-to-play player is because this game mode gives you 3 types of resources. So you have your Dream Fragment, which is used to exchange for A-level character shards within the Emporium shop itself. Very, very important, because the more shards you have, the easier it is for you to tier up your characters. The stronger your character get, the more damage you can do. So you guys can see the cycle there. Then we have the Tidal Essence, right? Upgrade hero focus skills as well as exclusive weapon from level 0 to 5. So this is the early part. I still have a lot of it, so you'll get an abundance of this. But the more important part is actually the Temporal Essence, which is used to level your exclusive weapon from level 6 to level 15. So this part, right, this game mode is the only game mode where you can get a reliable source of Temporal Essence. For the Tidal Essence, you can actually get it from the Emporium shop itself with gems. So even as a free-to-play player, you won't actually run into a blockade in terms of this one. But for free-to-play player, Temporal Essence will be something which will be very lacking, right? Since you don't spend, you're not going to buy this from the shop. You can only get it from this game mode as well as the guild chest. So there are other game modes where you can get this. But this game mode being a daily reset thing, every single day that you are not getting all this juicy Temporal Essence, you're losing out a bit. So for example, if you're within top 10, you get 4, right? If you're probably like maybe 51 or 48 in my case, right, we are getting 2. So every day you're losing out 2, every week you're losing out 14, every month you're losing out a lot. So you guys can see where I'm going from there. So in this case, right, if you're in a really competitive server such as this one, then as a free-to-play player, you are going to sort of lose out a little bit. But that is where being efficient is important. You want to get the correct units. You want to go for Dream Realm units so that you can have an edge here. You can be efficient here, and you can at least progress to get like at least top 50 rewards, for example, or hopefully top 20 rewards if your server is not that competitive. So this is from the more competitive end, right? As you guys can see, so every day I'm getting like what, 2 or 1 or even 0 yellow shards, which I think slows down this account a lot. And I do plan to drop this account when global comes, because I just don't have a lot of time to run multiple accounts, and that is I'll say like the more pay to win portion. So the other pay to win portion is actually the Arcane Labyrinth, where I think you having better units, you having better EX weapons basically give you a chance for higher ranking. But honestly speaking, this ranking doesn't really matter too much to the free-to-play players, because the only rewards you will get from Arcane Labyrinth right now is just the first time clear rewards. Not too sure whether or not they will actually give more in the future, but right now there doesn't seem to be much to play after you get your first time reward, other than trying to get a good rank so that you contribute to your guild glory points. But as you guys can see, as a free-to-play account, I can do difficulty 15, so I cleared up all the first time rewards here, and that's what's most important for free-to-play players. So definitely doable, like even from a free-to-play perspective. So in terms of battle drill, same thing. Like obviously you will have a tougher time because you just don't have that many units. You just don't have that strong of a unit. But if you join a guild, you work together as a guild, there probably will be spenders that can carry you on the harder stages, and then you guys can clear these and get as much rewards as possible. And even if you're not doing very well in this game mode, all you got to do is just clear out your reputation treasure, get it all the way to level 5, and you should be able to get all these juicy reputation rewards here. So this is from a free-to-play perspective, definitely doable. Just fulfill all these conditions. I always max out this level 5 really easily, just play consistently. So yeah, in terms of pay-to-win perspective, I'll say the only two game modes which are extremely pay-to-win will be Dream Realm and Arena. But moving forward into the future, things might change, so we will stay tuned for that. But with what we have right now, this is what it is. Honor Duel game mode is basically the most free-to-play game mode because you are not... Basically, the units doesn't have a fixed stats. It's a roguelike game mode, some sort like auto chess. So it's more of your knowledge about the game. It's more of your skills, right? Compared to just having money and then getting the most powerful stated units. So not gonna talk too much about it. This game mode is pretty free to play friendly, but if you don't have a lot of time, just claim 15 victory per week to get all these juicy rewards. If you're into rankings for your guild, you guys can actually do as much as possible as well. I don't really care here. So yeah, that's basically for the Honor Duel portion. So in general, as a whole, I think even as a free to play player, you can progress in the game, but I'll say that setting your goals right, being efficient with your resources is going to be really important. But I'm going to do a PSA for like all the free-to-play tips and tricks when the global comes closer, so stay tuned for that. But this is from a more competitive side, right, where a lot of people are just way stronger than you. You have a lot of spenders, so you have a lot of really powerful players that have a lot of power. They spend a lot in the game, or they are in the game for a really long time. So this is from that perspective. Let me go into the other account, which is slightly less competitive. Okay, so we are back on the other account that is also free to play. As you guys can see, this account is 20 million in power, free to play as well. As you guys can see, Rowan here, so 0 purchase on this account. Same thing, fully cleared AFK challenges, and I'm on my way to clear out the story mode for this. I just need to spend some time and I clear it, so not an issue. Story mode fully clearable. And in terms of why I say depending on how competitive the server is, a free-to-play player will have a different experience is because the previous account was in a more competitive server. This account is in a less competitive server. So even if I have the same power, as you guys can see, my rankings are a little bit better. So being able to get better rankings actually gives you better rewards, like I mentioned multiple times. So this allows you to actually develop your account better and faster if you are like somebody who values seeing your account becoming stronger. So if you're somebody who's free to play and all this matters a lot to you, right, then I think bouncing around and finding a more chill server is the way to go. Because if you're in a really competitive server, I will say that it's gonna be challenging for you to ensure good rewards, right? So this is just a minor tip that I can give to those aspiring free-to-play players that are going to jump into the game. So as you guys can see, this account, it's slightly better ranking. So overall, I'm getting better rewards on this account, and I can better upgrade the units of this account because I get like a little bit more resources, and I get better rewards based on like the rankings at the end of the week for some of these game modes. However, one thing about being in a less competitive server, chances are is that there'll be lesser players. So there's actually a game mode known as the Lone Wolf. Like, it's a world boss game mode over here. So I think it's here. Yeah, you got cleared out. Yeah, the wolf got cleared out. So there's actually a game mode that's known as the world boss. So being in a less competitive and less active server might result in a slower clearing for world content kind of bosses. But I think if you're comparing it from a like single player personal growth kind of perspective, then choosing the less competitive server will be better for you as a free-to-play player. So that's just some advice that I can give. But in general, I'll say this game is quite free-to-play friendly. Like, I think you managing your expectation, you knowing what you want to get out of this game, right? If you want to be competitive, then you do the right things to be competitive. If you want to be chill, you just want to be a characters collector, you just want to be a lore lover, then you can also find that piece of pie in this game itself. So in general, AFK Journey to me is very free to play friendly because you can clear the game as long as you have patience, as long as you're doing the right thing, and you can compete against the stronger players if you're really efficient with resources, if you know what you're doing, you have been following guides from experienced players, the right players, then you will get a decently strong account which allows you to compete even at the highest level. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, right? My thought is very free to play friendly, very good for progression for even free-to-play players. You won't really get stuck if you don't have certain units, by the way. So that's one thing that I really love about this game, and that is something which I'll strongly recommend even the free-to-play players to try this game out. So yep, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.